And we back with another one, man. 3 horrifying true ex-stalker stories, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Y'all need to start stalking y'all exes, bro. That shit weird. Move on. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, move on, bro. I ain't never that serious, bro. Please move on, bro. Believe it or not, heavy on the not part, bro, you can find somebody else. You don't gotta stalk your ex, bro. That's not only shorty that's gonna suck your dick. That's not only shorty that's gonna fuck you. It's not only shorty that's gonna date you, bro. Same thing for y'all females. It should be no female stalkers. Yeah, I got even a 2 out of 10s, the 4s out of 10s. Bro, y'all be having 100 motherfuckers in y'all DMs, bro. 1,000 motherfuckers in y'all DMs, bro. Shouldn't no female be stalking their ex, bro. Shouldn't no female, bro. If you're a female stressed over a man, stressed over an ex, boy, you gotta be chopped beyond belief. You gotta have no physical redeeming qualities, bro. You have no physical redeeming qualities, bro. I don't know. It might be worse than that. I don't know. But you know what's crazy is? The crazy part about it is, right? I lied. Because it's not always about physical physical looks. You feel me? When it comes to shit like that. You feel me? Like, mentally you off. Because every female I've ever heard stories about real life, online, whatever. Every female that has stalked their ex, bro, are mentally off they fucking rockers, bro. It's like they mentally fucking crazy. I've never met a normal female that stalked their ex. You can say, I don't know what's worse. I don't know who crazier. Okay, I know who crazier. A male stalker is crazier than a female stalker. Ain't like, they be dudes. Cause I do true crime too. It's a lot of dudes who will unalive they ex because he moved on. You feel me? I mean, it's different levels of crazy. You feel me? But like, y'all shouldn't, like, neither side should be doing crazy shit. Neither side should be stuck on their ex, bro. Bro, go deal with somebody else. Like, what's hard about dealing with somebody else? Or matter of fact, I got something better than that. Don't deal with nobody. And instead, focus on yourself. Focus on loving yourself. Don't be deal with nobody, bro. You feel me? Girl, if you're going out there for the sole purpose of finding somebody to date and deal with, bro, you're not going to find nobody, bro. You feel me? You're not going to find, like, you just looking for shit. You feel me? That's how people end up in those crazy-ass relationships. Because they just want to be in a relationship. They just want to have a fuck buddy. They just want somebody because they can't be alone. Because they feel lonely. Like, bro, spend that time loving yourself. I swear to God, if everybody loved themselves and had respect for themselves, it wouldn't be none of this crazy shit involving breakups, murders over it, rejection killings, all this crazy ass. It wouldn't be none of that. If everybody had self-respect and self-love, it would be no crazy shit. None of that crazy shit be going on, bro. That's a fact. The only people doing that shit are people with no respect for themselves and that don't love themselves. Could never be me because I have self-respect and self-love, principle and morals. Feel me? Everybody had that, bro. It wouldn't be none of this shit. But let's go and see what the fuck these crazy ass folks got going on, man. Let's see what the hell they got going on, man.
As you're about to hear in the following stories, mental health is not something to be taken lightly, and it's important to stay on top of your mental health. You grow up imagining your life will look a certain way at a certain age, but things don't always work out the way you pictured. Maybe you don't end up in the job you thought you would. Maybe you're feeling stuck, or like everyone else is moving forward while you're just standing still. It can be hard to talk about that, even harder to ask for help. Maybe therapy always feels like something other people did, but then I learned that it's not about having something wrong with you. It's about understanding yourself and finding a healthier way to move forward. That's where today's sponsor, BetterHelp, comes in. BetterHelp matches you with a licensed therapist after a short questionnaire, often in just a couple of days. And if it's not the right...
You know, it's crazy. I watched a couple of his videos, like half a dozen of his videos, like a dozen of his videos, right? It's crazy how he put this ad or this sponsor on the topic of stalker exes, bro. Because like I said prior, you gotta have a mental disorder. Something gotta be mentally wrong with you to be doing the things that people be doing after breakups. Something has to be mentally wrong with you. Not even during breakups. People who can't take rejections, or people like those type of people get on, you know what I'm saying. Something mentally wrong with you, bro, and you need help. You need help.
Right fit, you can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. With
like
over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Go to betterhelp.com/Mr. Nightmare to get 10% off your first month. The link is also in the description.
That's why I like Mr. Nightmare, bro. Like, use your platform to help people with mental health. He can easily use this shit to get a check. He hitting over 600K minimum. You feel me? In a day. You feel me? So I like how he uses his platform to help people with their mental illnesses, bro, or the problems they have inside, bro, but they can't deal with, bro, by themselves mentally and emotionally, bro. I'm glad he doing that, bro. I give it up to you, bro. That's some real shit.
So a little backstory. I dated this girl when I was in my senior year of high school. I'm 20 now, so it was a couple of years ago, but still pretty fresh in my mind. For privacy's sake, I won't use her real name, so I'll refer to her as Grace. Grace and I met through our job.
Hey, for all the Graces in the world, don't take this personal, man. It's just a name. He had to use a name, man. Let me say it for him. Nothing personal.
Which I now know is never ideal. Before we started dating, though, there were red flags that I simply shouldn't have ignored. For instance,
never ignore the red flags. Never ignore the red flags, bro. Even if it's small. You feel me? You gotta, when dealing with people, right? You gotta have a sense of awareness, bro. Even if it's small, bro, you gotta peek everything, bro. When you start seeing signs of red flags, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't want to keep repeating myself with simple sayings and shit, but like there's nothing there's nothing complex or deep that need to be said about red flags, bro. And I feel like I know the reason why people don't leave when they see red flags. They feel like, oh, I ain't gonna never get a girl as pretty as her. Oh, I ain't gonna never get a girl with an ass as fat as hers, with titties as big as hers, who look that good that's attracted to me. You feel me? That would be seeing me and shit, bro. Y'all gotta stop that, bro. That no confidence, no self-esteem shit, bro. Y'all gotta stop that. Y'all gotta, for men, y'all gotta stop that, bro. Y'all gotta have that abundance mindset. You feel me? Y'all gotta have that abundance mindset. She's not the only female in the world, bro. No exaggeration, bro. Google the population of your city, bro. And look up how many females are in your city, bro. Bro, it's over 1 million females in your city, bro. A man should never feel like a woman is the only one for her, bro. And that particular woman is the only one for her. For him. You feel me? You should never feel like that's the only motherfucker that would ever deal with you. Like, you start thinking that, bro. You start thinking like, damn, I can't let you go. That's when you start thinking that crazy ass shit. Women, am I right? The craziest dudes you'll deal with are the ones that know they can't get nobody else. It's the ones with low self-esteem. The ones you know you should never gave it a chance because you know, like, in your head you thought you knew. Like, I can tell you don't deal with women, or women don't give you a chance. And you decide to give them a chance. And you feel like, damn, you crazy as hell. I see why. Like, you get what I'm saying? Bro, y'all gotta stop that, bro. Y'all gotta stop that, bro. If you see a red flag, leave. If a woman give you a reason to leave, leave. If she wanna go, let her go. Man, let go, bro. Hit these red flags.
She would come to our place of work for hours just to watch me work, and I would catch her staring at me every once in a while. Besides that, a few months into our relationship,
She'll come to work just to watch you work. That's not weird. Okay, it depends on how she's doing it and the reason behind it, cause I would go to my homegirl job and I would chill with her for hours and we would just chop it up. But if she's just standing there staring at you for hours, not saying shit, or not letting it be known, that's why she's there and it was never like mutually agreed on. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
things started getting pretty toxic. I would constantly feel suffocated.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. As soon as it feels toxic, bro, let it go, bro. Yeah, let it go, bro. Let it go. I'll shoot my setup. You gotta let it go, bro. You gotta let it go, bro. First signs of toxicity, bro, let it go. It can save your life, man. It can save your life, bro. First sign of too much clinginess, like you always clingy, you gotta let them go, bro. None of them motherfuckers that feel like they can't live without you, bro. You don't want nobody that feel like they can't live without you, bro. Like, you are my life. You are my world. Like you breathe air into me. Like, avoid them motherfuckers, bro. Avoid them, bro. Those motherfuckers be like, if I can't have you, nobody can. You gotta avoid them motherfuckers.
I had no time for my hobbies, friends, or even myself. She was the type of girl to ask where I was, who I was with, and what I was doing 24/7. If I didn't answer a phone call, it would end up being 25 missed calls and a ton of text messages that would ultimately turn into a fight, even if
I would have broke over her ass. The first couldn't be me, bro. Couldn't be me, bro. He got low self-esteem. Or shorty looked so good, he didn't think he could pull a female like that, bro. Or still can't. It's one of the two, bro. It's low self-esteem. There's no other options than that, bro. It gotta be, bro. It gotta be, bro. Like, the first problem, I'm leaving. What's so hard about leaving somebody, bro? And getting somebody else?
I was just using the bathroom. It got to the point where I couldn't play games with my friends without it causing a fight.
Damn.
So eventually we broke up, but not without her doing everything in her power to convince me to come back. She would wait outside my place of work for me to get off, and when I would walk outside, she would follow me to my car, block me from getting in, and try to reason with me. I got sick of it. One night she came and wanted to talk, so I decided to talk with her, not really knowing what else to do. Grace was also trying to sue me for something extremely petty that I'd rather not get into, and would use this as a scare tactic to make me talk to her. So anyway, I sat down in her car. She was saying the same old stuff I'd heard hundreds of times. I told her I was done talking, but at that time, her dad called her. She used this as a threat and told me, if you don't sit here and talk to me, I'll have him sue you now. And to that, I said, fuck this, an attempt.
I'm gonna take a wild assumption and say that they're white. Does the race matter? Absolutely not. But that's some white people shit, bro. I'll sue you. Like, what the fuck do that even mean? I'll sue you. Like, what the fuck does that mean, though? Like, what? Like, who cares? The fuck is you talking about? Like, people are fucking weird.
To get out of her car. The door was locked though, so as I was unlocking it, she grabbed hold of my arm and dug her nails into my skin. I looked at her and was genuinely shocked because she'd only been verbally abusive before, never physical. I had also never seen that look on her face. It was pure malice, and I won't lie, I was pretty unnerved.
Let me tell you something, bro. I know earlier in the video I said that a male stalker is worse than a female stalker. I lied, bro. They're at the same level. Bro. They're neck and neck, bro. A crazy ex or a crazy man dealing with you, he's gonna take your life. You feel me? A female is gonna make sure you wish you was dead. They're gonna make you pray that you're dead. I know you like, Well, I remember wishing I was dead and actually be dead. There's a reason why that saying is, I wish I was dead, or I'd rather be dead than doing what I'm doing. Bro, a female, bro, you don't understand power? You know what's crazy? Man, a lot of men understand it, but a lot of men don't understand that a female can take everything away from you, bro. Like, a female can ruin your life forever, bro. A female can ruin your fucking life. A female can go to the cops and say, call the cops. It's a lot of videos on TikTok, YouTube, and this shit. It's out there. A female will call the cops, hey, he hit me. Oh, he got a weapon. You know him got one. And bam, you can lose your life, shot by the cops, get locked up for domestic violence, battery, and assault before anything was even proven guilty. You feel me? Even if a female lie, and it's known that she's lying, bro, first off, nothing will happen to her. There's no repercussions for a female lying on a man. There's no repercussion. There's no repercussion. And before they even get to who's telling the truth or not, bro, you're locked up in jail. You're locked up in jail. You're locked up. You're locked up, bro. A female can say you raped her, you'll be locked up in prison. Jail. She can say you beat on her, you'll be locked up. She can say you hit her. You feel me? She can get up, bang her head against the wall, call the cops, you locked up. Hell, in some cases where a female did that, called the cops, and the cop ended up shooting a dude. Come on now. Lord forbid you have a child by one. Lord forbid. Oh my fucking God, bro. Not, bro. Lord fucking forbid, bro. If you have a child by one of these crazy ass females, bro. I'm telling you, man. It's so, oh my fucking God, bro. Like, it's just something you just have to know, bro. Something you have to physically go experience, bro. Something, it's things that, like, it's one of those things, right, that verbally hearing it, you'll be like, man, it don't sound that bad. You have to go on the internet, go review the clips, the videos of what I'm referring to, bro. Crazy females, crazy exes, bro. Go look it up and come back, bro. Come back and comment, bro. You'll be like, I see what you're talking about, bro. There are things worse than death, bro. And a crazy female will make you experience that shit, bro. They will make you experience that shit, bro. Good men, good, honest to God men, life ruined, bro. That's good, honest to God men in prison, bro. Over that, bro. Dead over it, bro. Some financially ruined. Careers ruined, bro. And you know what's crazy with a female, right? That's still not enough. That still wouldn't be enough. No. Not in their head, in the crazy deranged female head, you ain't suffer enough. Nah, they ain't get a point across enough, bro. Then they will get violent. A lot of crazy female will kill a man too. Is it statistically as high as a crazy man? No. But are they capable of doing so? Absolutely. Have they done it before in the past? Absolutely. Come on, man. A female can kill a man and get off with less than significantly less time. Come on. She can kill a man and get off before she even get old. Females rarely receive life sentences. That's a fact. They receive drastically less time than men. You feel me? Because one, the system is against men. You feel me? You feel me? Both sides are fucked up, but both sides are like, boy, it's crazy out here, man.
I myself am a pretty tall guy, and she was very small, so I knew I could overpower her if I had to. I swung her door open and
I bet she probably accused that. I know for a fact she accused that he hit her.
Tried to step away, but she was holding me extremely tight. I told her to let me go, but she wouldn't budge. I kept pulling on my arm, trying to get away, but she would not move an inch. At this point, my skin was starting to peel, so I made a judgment call and pulled her toward me onto the passenger seat, which gave me enough time to get away and into my car. I drove home faster than I ever have, and I really wish I could say it ended there, but of course it doesn't. Unfortunately for me, Grace and I are practically neighbors, and she lives a couple blocks away. That night, while I was playing video games, I heard a car outside. but I kind of chalked it up to my game as I remember playing GTA 5 that night. I had also smoked a bit of weed, so I figured that would have made the car noises louder. A little bit of time passed, and as I was playing, I heard a tap on my window. I thought I was being paranoid, as weed can tend to make me a little on edge sometimes, especially after what had happened. But that thought quickly faded after I heard another tap and a female voice saying my name. I knew it was Grace, and I started to panic. My window doesn't have the best blinds, so I knew she could see me. I didn't want to open my window because at this point, I knew she could be potentially dangerous. I pretended not to hear her, hoping that she would go away. But of course, she didn't, because after a minute or two, she started banging on my window. Her tone changed from soft and apologetic to more aggressive and angry. I couldn't make out much of what she was saying, but it was something along the lines of, "You can't do this to me, you're an asshole," that sort of deal. I had to do something. I didn't want to waste the cops' time, but now looking back at it, I absolutely should have called them. I made the stupid decision to open my door and ask what she wanted. I asked why she was here and why she couldn't just leave me alone. Her tone changed once again to soft-spoken, and she was asking for her sweater back. I yelled at her and told her she can't just be at my window at 2 in the morning asking for a sweater, and then I said if she didn't leave my property, I'd be calling the cops. At this point, she blew up screaming at me while starting to sob uncontrollably. For a moment, I actually felt bad, but then my heart dropped as I saw something that still sends shivers down my spine to this day. She wasn't alone. To the left of her was a thick tree in our front yard, and peeking out from it was a hooded figure. She saw me move to focus to the tree, and she knew I saw them. She reached for my arm and grabbed me, and as she did this, I saw the person run out from behind the tree, but I couldn't make out any facial features. It didn't.
Bro, that's some shit a crazy female would do. I don't want to hear nobody in common sense don't deep, never say like, oh no, men are worse, blah, blah. Bro, there's females are so crazy, bro. Like, who's worse? Fucking fluctuates. It's like, oh, men are worse. They'll kill a rapist, cool. Females, oh, they'll send a motherfucker behind a tree to kill you. They'll literally get a hitman to kill you. Bro, and the crazy part is, right, they're more deranged. How you tapping on somebody? You tapped on a man's window to get his attention, banged on the window, he opened the door, you go from screaming at him to, oh, I'm sorry, I just came from my sweater. He noticed a man, somebody, standing behind a tree, yeah, attack him, hold him in place, why that mysterious motherfucker ran at him? You got somebody to try to kill him? I would have knocked Shorty's head off. I would have knocked her head off, bro. Boy. But I don't even hit females, bro. I would have mushed the shit out of her ass, bro. Like, she really bad. Like, all because he didn't want to take you back.
Matter because they were sprinting toward my window. In that moment, my fight or flight kicked in, and I slammed my window shut on Greg's arm. She screamed out in pain and pulled it back. I slammed it shut and locked it just before the other person reached my window. My heart was racing, and it felt like I couldn't breathe. I showed them my phone dialing 911, and at that, they hurried back to her car, started it, and drove away. I was in total shock, not even comprehending what had just happened. They sent an officer to my house.
Let me comprehend it for you. Hoes are crazy. Let me do the compliment it for you, bro. Hoes are crazy. Hoes are crazy, bro. Females are crazy. Literally, like, they're not even crazy, but they sick and evil. If men are animalistic, man, females are sick and evil. Who think to do shit like that, bro?
He took down my story and told me they'd call if anything came of it. Of course, there wasn't much they could do, as there was no evidence anything happened, like most 911 calls. As far as I know, she never had any legal action taken against her. As for what they wanted with me, she's also gotten people jumped and robbed before, so I wouldn't doubt they wanted to do that or...
She got people jumped and robbed before? And you fucked with her? Oh my God. Ain't no, you fucked with her? Did you know that prior, before dating her? I gotta know. He is sounding mad casual. A little too casual. But bro, did you know that before or after dating her, bro? She's got people jumped and robbed before. And he thought so it was gonna be possibly worse. What the fuck is wrong with me? You know what's crazy, bro? I know this story is real because there are men out there, bro, who will fuck with a female who got men killed, robbed, drugged, etc., bro. Plenty, bro. There are millions of men who fuck with. And they be, you know what? They be surprised. You know what's crazy? There's men out here, right, who will talk to girls in relationships, right? Have her cheat on her man with him. They'll end up getting into a relationship after she leave her boyfriend. And they'll be surprised that the motherfucker that cheated on her boyfriend to be with him cheated on him with another man. Any motherfucker surprised about that? Yeah. My blood pressure. They could be like, I can fix her. Nah, she wouldn't do that to me. Nah, I'm different. I'm special. I'm the one exception, man. The fucking show is named after me. You fucking dweeb. Like, what, like, you might never been special in your life. You had never been that dude. Now, he deserve it, bro. He deserve it. He deserve it. He ignored the red flags. Knew Shorty got people jumped and robbed. And this story took place while they was in high school. And you want to say he got audacity to be like, I'm not going to use her name. I'm going to use a fake alias. Bro, you should have gave her first and last fucking name, bro. You should have warned the world. Because of you, there's somebody like her roaming the world, roaming the earth, and nobody knows.
Possibly worse. I'm just extremely lucky that the person hiding behind the tree decided to peek out.
That was the end of the story? That was the end? That was the end? Oh, nah, buddy's sick. On Amy Adams. Okay, now we finna compare. The first one was a female stalker. So this one is a male stalker. Let's see. I want to see how crazy it get.
My name is Amy.
Let me just say this, bro. I'm not actually seeing like which one is worse. They're both pretty fucking bad, and they're both is fucking sick. Like I said in the video, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to stop that crazy ass shit, man. All these hoes. How many females you think live in this neighborhood, bro? 1 million, bro. Take your ass to Walmart, bro. If you're a female, take your ass to Home Depot, man. Open up this post on Instagram, bro. You'll have 100 dudes in your DMs, bro. Like, y'all don't got to do all this stalking motherfucking shit, bro. I would never understand that shit, bro. Could never be me, bro. Could never be me, bro. Once you gone, you gone. I ain't never that serious. Never, bro. Ain't never that serious. I ain't never, unless you're the only female on earth, and it's just, like, you feel me? Like, yeah, we can work it out. We can talk about it. If not that, hell no.
And I haven't really slept much since last Tuesday.
Okay.
Not because I can't, but because I don't feel safe closing my eyes anymore. That's what happens, I guess, when someone you thought you knew turns out to be capable of something you only expect from horror movies.
That's facts.
I broke up with my boyfriend Tommy 3 weeks ago. It wasn't dramatic, at least not at first. We'd been dating for just under a year. In the beginning, he was sweet. He was overly attentive and always texting and calling like any partner wants. At first, it felt like real love, the kind you think you're lucky to have. But over time, it turned possessive. He'd get upset if I took too long to reply.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a big red flag, bro. That's a big red flag, bro. That's a big one, bro. All that texting and calling and talking. Is there anything wrong with talking and texting? Is there anything wrong with talking to your partner every day and texting and shit, right? No, there's not. There's not. But that's a thin line. It's hard to explain, bro. But there's a thin line between that, what she said in the beginning, and realizing that it's not because it's not genuine. It's not genuine. That's what I'm trying to say. It's possessive. It's a thin line between being genuine with it and being possessive with it, bro. It's a real thin line with that shit, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If somebody always trying to call and text me every day, all day, bro, all day, every day, you get mad if I don't text back, blah, blah. I ain't gonna lie, that's a red flag. I might just leave your ass. Me personally, I'm gonna leave your ass. I'm gonna leave your ass. Can we talk every day? Yeah. Feel me? But does it have to be every minute, every hour of the day? Hell no. Hell no. I'm busy. Why aren't you busy? What they tell me is that the focus point of your life is me. Yeah, that's what they tell me. The focus point of your life is me. And when you're the focus point of somebody's life, that person is possessive, crazy, and usually deranged. Something ain't right, bro. That's the biggest red flag. That's top 3 red flags. In the top 3 red flags, you can say top 5, top 10 red flag.
He'd ask weird questions like who I'd smiled at that day or if I had seen any guys looking at me.
And for men, I had to learn this lesson myself. When you're dealing with females, right? Or you want a shorty, or you got a girlfriend, or you pursuing a shorty, or you want to talk to shorty, bro, never bring up another man, bro. Never bring up another man, bro. Please, by the grace of God. I know men love doing that shit, do that shit often, bro. But speaking from experience, bro, never do that, bro. I did that shit one time, bro, with one shorty, bro. Even though I'd just be playing with her, like, bro, they really hate that shit, bro. After shorty cussed me out about that shit, I've never did it again in my life, bro. I've never did that shit again in my life. That was like, what, 3 years ago? Nah, that was way longer than 3 years ago. That was like 4 years ago. Probably 5. But after that, bro, I've never did it. I've never asked another female about another man again. Do not do that, bro. Even if you're joking and you're playing, you're saying in that joking tone and you're playing, bro, don't do that, bro. They hate that shit, bro. Why are you worrying about another man, bro? You feel me, bro? Don't do it, bro. That's a little bit of advice, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't do that, bro. All you doing is propelling them, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You making them not want. You making them look at you differently, bro. You making them lose respect for you, bro. Don't do it, bro. Please don't, bro. If you expect her or fucking with another man, bro, or fucking with somebody else, right? Just leave. Just leave her. Just leave her. You feel me? Just be like, man, I got my intuition or my instinct intuition telling me, man, you fuck with somebody else, man. I just can't. I can't shake that feeling. And we just got to end, bro. You feel me? Either she gonna reassure you or she gonna leave, bro. But like, don't do all that accusing shit, bro.
Sometimes he'd show up at my job unannounced, just standing outside the window like he was checking in. He even showed up to the bars I was at with friends if I was having a girls' night out, and then forced me to come home with him. My friends started to hate him for these exact reasons. He never trusted me, but I didn't end it until he started asking if I'd ever consider putting a tracker on my phone to keep each other safe. Not to start sharing each other's locations, but to literally put a tracker on my phone. That was the last straw for me. I told him it was over, and in response, he cried at first, but then he went silent. I remember hanging up on our last call with this strange tightness in my chest, like I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. For a little while, things were quiet. I blocked his number and tried to move on. I started going back to the gym, cooking real meals, just trying to feel normal again. But about a week after the breakup, I started getting strange messages. Not from Tommy, or at least not directly, but from random numbers with no name or context. They were short, usually just a vague single sentence. I didn't reply to any of them. That's a surefire way to get a spam number to know to keep harassing you. I just blocked each number as it came. I did not tell my friends. I told myself it was probably a scam or some spam bot because I've always gotten spam texts. But then, things moved beyond just random texts. One night, I was in bed and had to get up to pee. I went into the hallway outside my bedroom, and before entering the bathroom, I thought I heard a soft noise come from downstairs in the foyer. I'm not the type to go check on a noise. I get scared in the dark, hence why I always like being in a relationship so I don't have to stay alone all the time. I didn't go down to check it. I convinced myself it was a radiator clicking or something. I've lived in this apartment for almost 2 years, and most of that time was spent living with my ex George and then Tommy the remainder of that time, but hardly ever alone. I know the sounds it makes, and honestly, that sound was not one I'd heard before. So after I went to the bathroom, I went straight back into my room and jumped into bed, thinking the thin sheet of blanket cloth would protect me. Another night, around 2 a.m., I could have sworn I heard a door in my apartment open from outside my room. That was the sound that woke me up, so I wasn't 100% sure of it. It could have been part of my dream maybe. Still, my heart was racing. I texted my family group chat with my siblings and my parents, just saying, I keep hearing noises every night, I'm getting scared. Of course, they were all asleep though, so I went back to sleep. That weekend, I came home from visiting my sister and immediately felt like something was off. Nothing was missing or broken, but I felt like maybe doors were left open at angles that they weren't left before. It may sound far-fetched, but it's not. I have a habit of leaving doors closed or near closed when I leave my apartment. All the doors were basically fully open in the entire apartment. There was no draft at all. I keep the air conditioning on most of the time. I walked through the apartment slowly, checking each room. My stomach dropped when I saw that the hallway closet was slightly open. Now I knew something was wrong. I always leave that closet door closed. There's no reason to leave it open, and plus, the door tends to swing out if I do leave it open. I stared at it for what felt like a full minute before I approached. When I pulled it fully open, nothing was there. Just coats and shoes, same as usual. That night, I pushed a chair under my bedroom door and slept with a knife under my pillow. I kept the bedside lamp on. I must have dozed off at some point because I woke up to the sound of something moving, just a soft shuffle. I sat up slightly, confused, and then I realized the light was now off and the room was dark. I looked toward the door. I could see it was open, but I had wedged a chair under it. How could it be wide open? At first, I thought maybe I dreamed wedging the chair and leaving on the light.
I know that man out of your room, bro. I know that man out of your fucking house, bro. Creeping around your fucking room and shit, bro. I know it's not.
Or maybe I'd gotten up in my sleep, but I quickly found out how wrong I was. I saw something at the foot of my bed in the dark. I swear I couldn't tell what it was. It was just some black mass in the dark. But when I finally started realizing that what I was looking at was the top half of someone's head, it was too late, because I felt two hands start caressing my feet, and I completely lost it. I screamed so loud until I had no air left in my lungs, and I instantly recognized Tommy's voice telling me to calm down. But when I kept screaming, he got on top of me and put his hand over my mouth. He told me he wasn't there to hurt me, just to talk. He said he wouldn't let go of my mouth until I agreed to be quiet, so I nodded. The first thing I asked him was how he got into my apartment, and he said he made a copy of my key when we were together just in case there was ever—
Man, it make it so hard for me to build a case for them, bro. They make it so hard for me to build a fucking case for them, bro, to defend us, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know. This might be worse. I ain't gonna lie. In the last video, Shorty got somebody to possibly rob and hurt him. This motherfucker's in his house. In her house. Creaking. Like he's some type of vengeful spirit. Rubbing on her fucking feet. Oh, hell no. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's hard to tell which is worse.
an emergency. He never told me he did this. Straight psychopath behavior. He must have snuck out overnight one night with my keys to do it somewhere. As I sat there listening to him, I debated pulling the knife, but I was too scared to do so. I knew if I did that, I had to actually be ready to use it. He kept saying over and over how he wasn't there to hurt me, just to talk, but it seemed like he was simply there to scare me into agreeing to get back with him, and I truly was too scared to say no in fear of what he might do. So I said yes, but I asked him to simply leave for the night because I was shook. I think he was there in my bed for half an hour total before he left, and when he was gone, The first thing I did was call the police and explain the break-in. I said I was scared that he was still on the premises so that the police would actually come. When they did, I made an official police report, which I later used to file a restraining order against Tommy, with enough people backing up my claims, since I couldn't actually prove he broke into my house. A detective later traced the fake numbers back to his cell phone through some fake phone number app, which was also helpful in getting the restraining order. I stayed with my parents until I was able to get a new apartment. My advice to all women out there is the first sign of any sort of mental illness in the man you're with, you should really consider getting away as soon as possible.
Nah, fuck consider. Get the fuck on. Especially for women, right? Because men are physically stronger than y'all. And women may be more unpredictable. But men are a crazy man only wants a crazy man, a crazy ex can really only do two things: physically beat you or sexually beat you. You feel me? So first sign of mental illness, I don't wish that on no fucking body. No, first sign of mental illness that you fucking see for a woman, especially a fucking woman, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. You gotta leave, bro. You gotta leave. Cause if you leave early, right, then maybe they won't get too attached or too mentally obsessed with you to the point where like they gotta do something to you. You feel me? So first sign of a mental illness, bro, or first sign of a damn, that was fucking weird. Why the fuck you do that? A first sign of like, who the fuck would say that? Or when they get mad, everybody get mad, but you can tell. When you get a feeling like, oh, nah, it's more than just getting mad. There's something ain't right. You gotta leave. You gotta leave, bro. You gotta get the fuck on. Ain't no, yeah, you should consider leaving. No, leave.
Just to be safe. I still have to live with the trauma of waking up to him in my room.
That's traumatizing.
And I had to actually
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's traumatizing. That's more traumatizing than an ex, a female ex having some random motherfucker run at you towards the window. No, that's way more traumatizing. It's not even a comparison. This shit is worse. That shit is worse. Then I would rather have a motherfucker trying to get somebody to rob me than me living alone. Me living alone, right? And all I'm hearing is doors in my house closing. I'm checking it. One open, some closed. The lights that I leave on are turned off. I lock my door. It's open. And I see a head and eyes staring at me and pitch blackness at the end of my fucking bed. That's it. This nigga's worse than the first story, bro. It's way worse, bro. It's way worse. It's worse. That's worse. There's no debating.
Consider pulling a knife on him.
No, they're both fucking bad. Terrible. God awful, bro. I don't wish upon nobody. But that shit right there, no, that's fucking worse. That's worse. It's worse. Joey. Okay, Joey. Okay, it's a female stalker this time.
I dated Marissa for 1.5 years. At first, she was one of the most intense people I'd ever met. Not in a bad way. She was passionate, charismatic, and could talk about anything for hours. When she left, it was like she pulled you into her world. The first few months were incredible. She'd surprise me with gifts, leave sticky notes with poems on my mirror, text me goodnight every single night without fail. But that intensity had a darker side. She didn't do calm or wait and see. Everything was either perfect or catastrophic. If I was 5 minutes late responding to a text, she'd send a stream of messages, first worried, then angry, and then apologizing. It got worse slowly, almost invisibly. She once accused me of cheating because I liked an Instagram post from a girl I hadn't spoken to since high school. And when I told her that something she did made me uncomfortable, she would shut down completely. I don't mean just get quiet. I mean she would sit in my apartment for hours staring at the wall, just refusing to leave until I told her everything was fine. The first time she showed up at my office unannounced was 6 months in. She brought coffee and acted like it was cute, like we were some TV couple. I laughed it off, but the second time was because I hadn't answered her call. She stayed parked outside in the lot until I came down. She'd been crying. I told her it wasn't okay, and she just smiled and said, "You'd do the same for me, right?"
What?
I didn't have an answer for that. I kept making excuses for her.
See, it's kind of hard to compare the two, bro. It's not hard to compare the two, but like, female, when a female is crazy, right? I don't know, maybe a female feel the same way with a man crazy, but that shit get like, when they do weird shit, bro, it's genuinely fucking scary, bro. It's genuinely fucking scary, bro. Like, who says shit like that, bro?
Trauma, abandonment issues, childhood stuff.
Man, stop dating motherfuckers with issues. Stop that shit, bro. I don't date nobody with issues, bro. I ain't like, if you got issues, are you depressed, or you feel like nobody in your life loves you, or you always in drama, or you always having a bad day, or you always got something going on, I will not date you. I will not fuck with you, bro. Nah. I only fuck with motherfuckers that's always like, no, I fuck with normal people, bro. The only people I'll fuck with, bro, is people that are fucking normal. Nah, I lie. I think the last girl I was dealing with, the last second one, that motherfucker would break into my house. But like, we was together. I mean, granted, that shit was still fucking weird. But her ass just wanted food. She was just hungry as fuck. Not, okay, she wanted to break into my house for food, but still come over, chill, and be like, "I'm hungry. You gonna order us some food?" And I'd be like, "No," she'll leave. Or I'd be like, "Yeah," so eat and leave type shit. Weird relationship. Well, not a relationship, situationship. But yeah. This shit's fucking weird, bro. More of the story. That shit weird.
Thought if I just proved I wasn't gonna leave, she'd calm down. Instead, the more I gave, the more she needed. Eventually, I reached my limit. I told her it had to end. She didn't yell or cry. She just stared at me in silence for what felt like minutes. Then she nodded and said, "You think it's over for you, but it's not over for me." I remember how cold that made me feel. Like it wasn't even a threat, just a fact. I blocked her on everything that same night, and I changed my number. I even asked my building manager if I could get a different unit. For a few weeks, I thought it worked. Then the letters started showing up. The letters had no stamps or return addresses, just my name handwritten on the envelope, usually left between my door and the frame. I held on to some of these notes. The first one was kind of nostalgic. It said, "I miss waking up to you. I still sleep on the side of the bed where you used to lay." The second one got stranger. It said, "You always check the door 3 times before you go to bed. You probably don't even notice it, but I do." The third letter was the one that made me pack a suitcase. It said, "You wore your blue hoodie Monday. The one with the hole in the sleeve. You should sew that up before it gets worse." That was the same hoodie I wore when I went to pick up groceries that day at a store across town in the pouring rain. I hadn't seen anyone, not a single person I recognized, but she had seen me. I knew then that moving across the city wouldn't be enough. I found a job in Denver, a good one. I didn't tell anyone except my
The nigga had to leave the state. He ain't tell a soul.
brother and immediate family. I left no forwarding address. I even created a new email for the job, and I didn't link any personal info. I went completely dark. I even got a P.O. box under a false name. I thought that would be enough, and for a while it was. Many months passed, and I slept soundly. I started dating again, nothing serious, just drinks and movies. But I was laughing again. I felt like a person. Then, one Saturday, I opened my P.O. box and found an envelope. Just my name again, no stamp or return address. Inside was a Polaroid. It was of me walking in my apartment building, taken from behind. My earbuds were in, and I had a coffee in one hand. It was cold out. You could see snow on the sidewalk and the mountains in the background. I checked the back, and written in red ink, it said, "Your shoulders slouch when you're tired." I didn't wait. I moved again, faster this time. I paid cash for a rental in a different part of town. Smaller building and fewer tenants. I switched jobs once again and told my boss I had family stuff and had to go fully remote. I got a rescue dog who was big and loud, a big German Shepherd mix to try and keep me sane. I deleted mostly everything online. I had no apps or social media. I went gray for almost a year and heard nothing. No letters or pictures anymore. I let myself believe she was finally gone. Until the post-it note. It was stuck to my front door one evening when I got home from walking the dog. It was a yellow note with red ink, and it said, "I don't like the beard." My stomach actually dropped. I'd grown it out maybe 3 months prior. Nobody had seen me with it except the dog and maybe my work webcam, which I kept taped over unless on a call. I shaved it off that night. I told myself it was a coincidence, but the next morning, another note was waiting. Tucked under the windshield wiper of my car, it said, "Better." I contacted the police again and filed a report. They said without threats or property damage, there wasn't anything they could do. I asked if I could file a restraining order, and they said I'd need to prove she'd been near me, which, without seeing her or catching her in the act, was nearly impossible. I changed my habits and started paying attention to every detail, like locking the doors and drawing the blinds. I didn't sleep much. I'd lie in bed for hours, staring at the ceiling and waiting for the floorboards to creak. 2 weeks passed with no incident. I started to wonder if maybe the notes were old. Maybe she'd left them a while ago and I'd only just noticed. But deep down, I didn't even believe that. Then one night, I woke up in the middle of the night with this horrible feeling, like someone had just been watching me, and they only just stepped out of the room. I got up and checked the doors and windows, even under the bed like I was a kid again. Nothing was out of place. But the next morning, taped to the outside of my front door, was a small envelope like someone had taken their time to align it perfectly. Inside was a photo, one I hadn't seen in years. It was Marissa and I in a boardwalk photo booth from back when we were still together. We were smiling and her head was on my shoulder, but her eyes had been stretched out in deep gouges like someone had used a needle or a pin. I moved again, not across town this time, but out of the city completely. I found a small cabin 3 hours into the mountains. It was isolated and surrounded by pine trees with only one road in. I paid in cash and used a fake name on the lease, which was a month-to-month payment system, and I left my old smartphone behind, getting a second phone number in the process. I bought a burner phone for emergencies mainly. I worked remote through a company-issued laptop that only connected through a secure VPN. No one besides my immediate family and my best friend knew where I was. I kept to myself. The only quote-unquote visitor I got was my Uber Eats driver delivering occasional groceries. For a whole month, I barely even went into town, and it all finally worked, until I heard footsteps outside crunching the snow. My dog went ballistic. The next morning, I found the footprints. They were shoe marks, and they went from window to window. There were no notes or anything left anywhere on the house, though. What else was I to assume other than it was her? That she found me again? Even though I still don't know for certain if that was actually her that time, I spent that entire day packing my things and driving back to my hometown. Today, I'm living in a house with 3 roommates who are in the military. If that's not a house that people know not to mess with, I don't know what is. Their pickup trucks, purple heart plates, and giant flags all over the front of the house are absolutely deterrent to Marissa playing whatever psychopathic game she was playing. She's a mentally unstable stalker, it's clear as day, and she's a danger to herself, me, and whoever she gets involved with in the future. I just wish law enforcement was more willing to step in and do something before something really bad happens.
And with that being said, man, y'all gotta be safe out here, man. Want who wants you, and avoid who's overly crazy and possessive about you, man. Be safe out here, man. Be careful with who you deal with, man. Just be safe, man. I don't want nothing to happen to y'all crazy asses, man. Y'all little asses, man. Until next time.